vciso-au Cyberwatch, 18th of November 2025. Strategic Cybersecurity Intelligence Brief, powered by vciso-au. Stay informed, stay prepared, stay secure. Ensure your cybersecurity program is both proactive and verifiable. By Anil Yelamati. DW Web Report. ANZ, none. News from DW Informer. Princeton University, USA, discloses a cybersecurity incident containing information about alumni, donors, some faculty, students, parents, and other members of the university community was compromised by outside actors on November 10th. The university provided some details and a FAQ on their incident page. Claimed zero-day Microsoft-signed driver marketed for EDR/XDR bypass. TA Night Raider selling a vulnerable driver signed by Microsoft, closed source, and not listed on any block list or GitHub repo. Source code, driver, and support from TA. CVE 2025-64495. Open Web UI vulnerable to store DOM XSS via prompts when insert prompt as rich text is enabled, resulting in ATO, RCE, CVSS, 8.7 and 151,305 vulnerable systems. Cyber attack hits ministry websites in Kenya. Several critical government ministry websites were hit by a cyber attack on Monday morning. Most of the affected sites became unreachable as their pages were defaced. The attackers altered the visual layout and replaced legitimate content with unauthorized material. Claimed bulk auction of 6,000 Fortinet VPN logins, and threat actor advertises supposed 3,000 FortiGate VPN accesses. Purported RD web access to UK energy and utilities firm advertised on dark web. Claimed US e-commerce iframe shop with card payments for sale. 1. Living room theaters forced offline after major cyber incident. A severe cyber attack caused living room theaters to suspend operations late Thursday, impacting both its Portland and Indianapolis locations. That company later described the intrusion as an unexpected and malicious event that disabled the majority of its computer systems. Discriminate. All screenings were halted, and staff were unable to process customer refunds or manage ticketing systems. A Week 8 revealed that the organization is actively collaborating with digital forensics and cybersecurity experts to evaluate system damage. Theater chain also notified the FBI's Portland Field Division and is coordinating with federal investigators. Technicians are working to rebuild and secure internal infrastructure, though the timeline for reopening remains uncertain. Management expressed appreciation for customer understanding and emphasized that restoring operations safely is the priority. System assessments are ongoing to ensure no further issues are present before reopening. 2. Microsoft blocks record-shattering 15.7 terabit per second DDoS attack from vciso-au botnet. Microsoft reported stopping a historic cloud DDoS assault peaking at 15.72 terabits per second and nearly 3.64 billion packets per second, targeting a single Azure endpoint in Australia. Theory attack, detected on October 24, 2025, originated from the rapidly expanding vciso-au IoT botnet. Traffic was sourced from over 500,000 compromised IPs, largely made up of infected home routers, cameras, and other consumer devices. Azure's Global Defense Network filtered the multi-vector UDP-heavy attack, keeping systems online throughout the incident. Microsoft noted the botnet's evolution mirrors increasing global fiber internet speeds and more powerful IoT hardware. Researchers warn that attackers are scaling DDoS volumes faster than providers can adapt. EatScout observed related vciso-au attacks exceeding 20 terabits per second in October 2025, especially targeting gaming platforms. Botnet also relies on residential proxies to strengthen HTTPS attack traffic and mask operator activity. Government behind vciso-au avoid 1.5 terabits per second plus floods from infected customer equipment. Attacks now UDP, TCP, GRE floods to HTTP mimicking payloads, sometimes using up to 119 different TCP flag combinations. Cloudflare previously mitigated a 22.2 terabits per second DDoS linked to the same botnet in September 2025. Xforcation alt public-facing systems are fully protected as holiday season attack volumes rise. 3. Jaguar Land Rover reports £196 million impact after September cyber attack. Jaguar Land Rover, JLR, confirmed that its September 2025 cyber incident disrupted production lines, compromised data, and created financial losses of £196 million for the quarter. Lowy automaker intentionally shut down systems early in September to prevent further intrusion, halting operations at key plants including Solihull. Many dealerships across the UK experienced difficulties with vehicle registrations and parts availability during the outage. Initial statements suggested no customer data had been accessed. However, JLR later confirmed a data breach occurred. Photographic cyber attack forced manufacturing delays that lasted until early October, with full production resuming by October 8th. A group calling itself Scattered Lapsus Hunters claimed responsibility for the digital intrusion. Mahina report shows revenue for Q2 dropped 24% year-over-year due to the shutdown and the planned phase-out of older Jaguar models. Losses before tax reached £485 million for the quarter as JLR struggled with both the cyber fallout and U.S. tariff impacts. Icronizal costs in Q2 totaled £238 million, mostly tied to cyber-related expenses and voluntary redundancy programs. Gratuitment, the UK government announced a support package that could unlock up to £1.5 billion to stabilize JLR's supply chain. There's 4,000 direct jobs and over 120,000 roles across its supply ecosystem. The Bank of England noted that the incident contributed to weaker-than-expected GDP growth in Q3 2025. 4. North Korean actors use JSON hosting services to deploy malware via fake coding projects. vciso researchers discovered that the contagious interview campaign, tied to North Korean actors, now abuses JSON storage platforms to distribute hidden malware. Threat actors disguise themselves as recruiters targeting developers in crypto, Web3, or software engineering fields. Victims are lured with supposed coding tests or demo projects that secretly include embedded malicious components. Trojans such as Beavertail, Otter Cookie, and the invisible ferret rat are commonly deployed through these booby-trapped repositories. Eden-based 64 API keys inside project files actually lead to next-stage payloads hosted on services like JSON Keeper, JSON Silo, and Endpoint.io. Once retrieved, Beavertail collects sensitive data and may fetch additional backdoors, including tools like TsunamiKit. TsunamiKit is used to analyze host systems, harvest data, and download extra malware from previously active .onion servers. Also uncovered malicious payloads hosted on Railway and additional rogue repositories tied to the campaign. Attackers increasingly rely on legitimate web infrastructure to blend into normal traffic and avoid detection. Campaign has been active since late 2023 and targets Windows, Mac OS, and Linux developers. Security experts caution against running code from unknown recruiters or unfamiliar repositories. NISO released the indicators of compromise and alerted affected service providers. 5. RondoDocs botnet expands by weaponizing unpatched XWiki RCE vulnerability. RondoDocs botnet CVE 2025-24893, allowing unauthenticated remote code execution. Although XWiki patched the issue in February 2025, many servers remain outdated and exposed. Vulnerability sits within the Solar Search feature, enabling attackers to inject groovy code through manipulated RSS-related requests. ISA has added the flaw to its known exploited vulnerabilities (KEV) list after widespread abuse began. Check researchers observed a major escalation once RondoDocs integrated the exploit on November 3, 2025. Abaniacs linked to RondoDocs show distinctive payload names and user agent patterns tracing back to malicious command servers. Other actors quickly joined in, deploying coin miners through secondary payloads fetched from multiple external servers. Some attempted reverse shells, indicating a mix of automated exploitation and manual intrusion efforts. Compromised IoT devices, including QNAP and Draytech gear, were observed joining scanning and exploitation attempts. Internet-wide scans increased as multiple groups searched for unpatched XWiki instances with simple enumeration commands. Researchers stress that exploitation typically begins days before defenders detect widespread abuse. Upgrading to patched XWiki versions 15.10.11, 16.4.1, or 16.5.0 RC1 is strongly recommended. 6. Pennsylvania Attorney General's Office confirms data theft after ransomware attack. Pennsylvania Office of the Attorney General, OAG, confirmed that sensitive data was stolen during an August 2025 ransomware attack. Reports verified that ransomware operators encrypted state systems, prompting the agency to refuse ransom payment. 7. Payroll Pirates criminal network redirects employee salaries through phishing and malvertising. Panel-coordinated criminal ecosystem called Payroll Pirates has been breaching payroll and HR systems across the U.S. since mid-2023. Attackers use malicious advertisements that imitate real HR portals, appearing at the top of search engine results. Inventive who click these ads are redirected to cloned login pages mimicking legitimate payroll platforms. 8. Attackers exploit Microsoft Entra guest invitations to deliver Toad phone-based phishing scams. A new phishing technique abuses Microsoft Entra guest invitations to trick recipients into calling attacker-controlled support lines. Invitations originate from Microsoft's legitimate notification email address, making them appear fully authentic. Create fake Entra tenants with official-sounding names such as Unified Workspace Team or CloudSync. Message includes fabricated billing details claiming that a Microsoft 365 subscription renewal requires urgent action.